right, Michael, I know you're real busy, but now that you got a minute, you've been running around, which is totally understandable. Let's kind of finish up a little bit here about this. One thing I wanted to ask you is, what do these run?
So you're going to be in the 13s depending on deck size. This is a 61,
okay,
and obviously you can go to a 52 or 72, but you're in the 13s depending on where you land.
13,000. Anything else you want to point out?
So a few things here. I guess if you run a ZK or a Skag, a lot of them have a through bolt for the spindle shaft. If you notice on these are not. So that's kind of a nice thing to not have to reach up and around the deck to try to get the spindle out.
Very true.
The nut off of the blade.
Very nice.
These tires are the largest I've seen on a mower.
They're beastie, man.
So they're 26 tall and 14 wide, where a standard in the industry is a 24 by 12. Wow. So you've got 2 extra inches of meat on either side, planting you to the ground. So that's a lot of traction.
That's what she said. No stickers, I noticed.
No stickers, everything's etched in, so you can't pressure wash it off.
I like that. The stickers, they just, over time, you know, they go.
For those of you that use attachments, you have the standard 2-inch receiver hitch. So
and I see some more of these right here.
Some tie downs, you're tight there.
Nice bumper too. Very nice.
So this is designed, and the roll bar doesn't have play in it. The one little thing is, you notice stuff rattles around sometimes. They were smart enough to actually put a brace down here with rubber bumpers on it, so the roll bar will rest on something and not rattle and chatter. So the little annoying things.
Very thought out, man. Like I said earlier.
This is 2 individual tanks here with a sight glass for your hydraulic fluid, so you can quickly check color, condition, and if there's enough fluid.
I love the, I mean, this is like military stuff, man.
It's really robust.
Yes. Wow.
The tanks, just like a ZK, they feed to a Y valve, so you don't have a fuel tank selector for left or right tank. They drain evenly for stability on a hill. Okay. You just have an open and close valve. That's it. Okay. And that's really all you need. And Ed's pointed out in many videos, as others have, your drain plug is right here for draining your oil guard, so you don't have that wonderful mess everywhere.
Very easy access. How many gallons?
15 and a half.
15 and a half, okay.
So enough to cut all day, every day.
And I like this too, it protects the motor. Right. It's very, very cool. And what is this?
So that is your debris management system. So that's
new, right?
This is new on these engines. Most of the other ones you're used to seeing, it's kind of like a rain cap. Yeah. So that's where the air goes in. This actually has a little propeller inside that spins around. So as air goes in, whatever dirt's in it is then getting slung around and out. And you can see there's grooves on the outside here and on the bottom. So air is sucked in through the bottom and it's ejected out here as it spins. Centrifugal force throws the debris out. So it extends the life of your air filter.
So yeah, I was about to say, not only that, but the air filter itself too.
Right. So then your air filter stays cleaner longer.
That's amazing, man.
Depending on where you're at in the country, and I'll do this because I need to get this discharge flap down, but you see your deck height here, it's quick and easy. You toggle with your foot on that bottom piece, and it releases down and back up, and it's up. It's got a fat spring counterweight up here, so you're able to see this is pulling traction, and there's one on each side to raise and lower the deck. Now, compared to a standard right on a let's say a ZK or a standard X, several guys have said in parts of the country, depends on how you get the vacuum or the cut quality, and it may or may not be the best. And I know Wright came out with a thing called a Northern Baffle Kit, which does help with some of that. If you notice, this deck pan is flush across the top. There's not that angled slope to the back anymore. And this is only on a ZXT, is this deck pan, as you can see, is flush across the top. Okay. If you want to get a shot of a ZK behind you, you can see that the back edge of the deck shell has an angle to it.
Okay, so like a little drop. All right.
So what this has allowed it to do is it's the full depth and allows more air volume for vacuum and circulation for discharge. So this should improve with cut quality and movement of clippings and dispersal from the deck.
Why do you think they've only done that on these and not on the ZKs then?
So this was on the redesign. Obviously this mower was ground up, brand new. Okay. That was easy to integrate into here. And this is dubbed the AeroCore Gen 1.5, which tells me that the Gen 1 is what's on the other mowers. This is 1.5, which tells me that we're probably in process to a Gen 2. And this is just the first step in that evolution of deck.
I got you. Cool, man. Awesome. It's a amazing, and 40 horses, of course, that's a bonus.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's a little overkill, I would say, right?
Well, It is and it isn't.
To a degree, yeah.
So the two things that make productivity up are speed and horsepower. And that horsepower allows you to get the speed because it allows you to process the material. And then that's what gives you your time savings.
Right.
So there's a lot of stuff you can buy out there that is 23, 25 horsepower. Is it enough to get the job done? Yes. Weekly maintenance, perfect. But if you are taking on some heavier jobs, larger acreage properties, stuff like that, sometimes the little extra fuel burn is worth it in productivity. You'll make it up in man hours.
I got you. Awesome, man. Awesome. Well, let's walk around. I know you always like to show me what you got going on.
Yeah, so everything as it lines up out front here is all sold.
It's all sold?
It's all sold.
Even the ZXT?
That's the demo.
Oh, okay.
So I'm one of the few dealers that's actually going to have a demo that we will let you go cut with.
So keep that in mind, ninjas.
So, yeah.
Master Mowers, call Michael if you want to demo a ZXT.
Exactly. So we've got that one. You do have to be in a relatively close area to me, though.
Is that one for sale?
It will be.
What's that gonna run?
So this is Nick's mower. We'll run it through service. Obviously, if you've seen the issue with the starter, that kind of thing, we'll warranty and handle all that. So by the time whoever purchases the mower, it'll be ready to go. That 72 is sold.
Wow.
This is the fairest version of a 72 with the 40 horse.
NASCAR seat?
A NASCAR seat with a headrest. The armrests are tucked up, as you can see. I mean, you guys can see how busy we are. All these stacks are returnable crates. And the two stacks there, that's last week, and today's only Tuesday.
Insane, man.
The week before, I returned 58 crates.
Oh my gosh.
Normally they ask to return us in 12, 15 at a time. They have to send me an empty semi-load just to take my returns. just for those. So we get here. If you guys can see what's going on with inventory nowadays, and I'm sure you're experiencing it at your local dealer, COVID's going to be one reason everybody uses, and it's really supply chain. So this goes all the way back to the base raw material that you need certain components to then make and turn into steel or press into pulleys, or you have to boil stuff down, petroleum-based products to make belts, rubbers, plastics. So there's shortages of these things intermittently rolling to every manufacturer out there. As you can see, from a Ferris standpoint, I'm one of the largest dealers in the country. This is normally 3 high, 2 deep, all the way down, and you can see how many are 1s, 2s, and filling out.
That's insane.
And this is just within 1 week. Man. The right product is in the wood crates behind us here.
Okay.
There's a few there.
They're the only ones that do the wood crates.
And a few here.
I remember that.
And they've committed to changing over to these returnable crates just as the year progresses. It's a phase-in type thing. Sure. So you can see the inventory is starting to dwindle.
What about Toro? Have you had the same issues with Toro as with?
Toro actually seems, from vendor standpoint, seems to be struggling the most to get product out.
Okay.
And let's keep in mind that it's Toro X Mark, because it's all one manufacturer, you know, 2 factories. And I think there's 2 factors going. One, X Mark is a distributor product, so they have to make sure those distributors are filled to cover their territories. Toro is half distributor and half direct across the country, so there's a mix there. If we go and think about Toro, they also have half distributor, half dealer, and then they also have mass merchant. So you're talking about Home Depot and Tractor Supply.
Yep.
There's contractual obligations, and again, this is just my opinion, I don't know this for fact, but when you have contractual obligations to fulfill mass merchant like that in the millions and millions of dollars of product, and you have guaranteed shipment dates, unfortunately, what ends up happening is the individual dealer becomes the one who is going to get shorted on product. And I would think, my opinion, this is probably what's happening there. It's started to get a little bit better in the last week or so with shipping. I also think they're running into some challenges on what they can build and when based on what either engine or product's available. Kawasaki seems to be shorting all manufacturers. Everybody's on allocation. And a great example of this is Skag. Skag was shorted so many engines by Kawasaki, they reached out to Vanguard. And Vanguard was able to strike a deal with them for 15,000 engines.
Wow.
Because that's how much just one brand could not get from Kawasaki is 15,000 units.
Holy cow.
So think about that now multiplied out times all these mower brands. You're talking probably in a 6-digit of number of engines that Kawasaki can't supply due to shortage.
My goodness.
So when we talk about ZXTs, and maybe you get the angle over here, Nick.
Even up here.
But so I've got 461s, I've got 272s, and I do have a 52. So I've got 7 in stock.
What does a 52 run? Since you said the 61.
You're on the low end of that 13 range, basically.
So you're still in the 13 range.
Yeah.
Okay. And a 72?
About 13.8, 13.9.
So they're all in that.
Yeah,
13.
they're all in the 13.
Gotcha.
So
I see some new HDXs right here.
A lot of Toro stuff coming in.
Yeah. Is this their new one?
So this is the new HDX Pro.
4000. Okay.
4000 series. So we can take a look.
Oh, here's one open.
This
Okay.
one here. This particular unit has 5400 series hydrogear pumps, an FX 921 31 horse carbureted engine, suspension seat, 24x12 drive tires.
Kavi.
And if you get on this 4000 series, the 921 engine, it's a 5-year, 1500-hour warranty.
Just on the motor itself.
Not on the engine, but on the machine.
On the machine.
But that's how you can easily tell. If it's this bigger engine, it's a 1500. If it's any of the other engine options, it's a 5-year, 1250.
Wow.
So these big engines have the 5400 hydro gears and run 12 miles an hour. All the other engine options are 4400 hydro gears and they'll run 10 miles an hour. So Toro did a phenomenal job redesigning this mower.
That's amazing.
And you can see, I mean, I think one of the cooler features here is definitely this, they call it an I-beam front end. So call it a, maybe a tribute to a bad boy design.
Yeah.
But it looks super cool.
That looks beefy, man. Super beefy.
One other neat thing here is the engine is now in line with the mower as opposed to turned sideways, how Toro and Exmark have been in the past.
Yeah.
And the perk here is you can actually access the starter and to service it a lot better than you previously could. So that was a complaint that we had heard in the past. Granted, great quality product, just it was a little tight to work on.
Sure.
A lot better now.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Toro's coming along.
Oh yeah. They're really wanting to separate themselves from Exmark and create their own product offering and not just be duplicate product with different
Even though it's
stickers.
the same company.
Even though it's the same company, same ownership.
They want the
group.
product to stand out from
Correct.
each other. I get it. Okay, cool. New Ferris right here.
Another 72 that's sold.
Man, you are selling mowers like I'm changing socks, man.
Yeah. Yep.
Brand new?
So this is a demo unit. It is for sale. If anybody's looking for one, 14 and a half hours on it. It's the 35 horse FB 3000.
And what are you selling this for?
I'll do this unit for $9 grand.
$9 grand. Okay.
So this is a really great deal considering list is 12.5.
Yeah. No doubt. And I will have me another one eventually.
First time of getting it going and all.
Right around the corner. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it.
And that one's got a mulch kit on it too.
Michael.
Well, there it is, ninjas. Yes, I went back with the Bumblebee. Why do you think I did that, Mike?
Well, that 52 is really a perfect mower with that 37 horse.
Yes. And I was telling the ninjas in my last couple of videos, I've actually noticed where the 52 is like my go-to mower. 61 is when I really just have some bigger, fields. 36 is only for those small gates. And the 52 is like my go-to mower.
Yeah, depending on property mix, that's what we see from our customer base is that the 52 really is a sweet spot.
Yep.
For a lot of properties, and obviously if you live in a more acreage area, the 61 is probably your go-to size.
What do you think about the 48? Would that be kind of like a 52?
The 48, especially in our little market here, is a very go-to size because we have a lot of gates that a 48 fits through that a 52, those 4 extra inches just are too much. So I sell a lot of 48-inch mowers specifically for that reason, but vast majority of the time, if you have a 52 and can get most places and then you can justify a 36 for backyards, I recommend that combo primarily from the sheer standpoint that one, you're always going to need 2 mowers, and then 2, you just buy one size blade and it fits both mowers. It's always interchangeable parts.
So ninjas, we'll talk a little bit more when I leave here, when I get home, but why I decided to stick with Bumblebee. Of course, I was going to get the same size deck, but I just want to say, man, thank you again for everything. You and RC always make it the best experience here. Absolutely knowledgeable, friendly, and just down to earth, and you make it, I feel like I'm home when I'm here, man. And for that, thank you, and I look forward to doing.
We treat everybody like family, which means we love you, and if you piss us off, we'll tell you.
So ninjas, best deals on mowers, in my opinion, anywhere else. So where can the ninjas contact you?
So I'm sure Nick will put all our information in the notes below the video. But we're at Master Mower. Our website is mastermowerga.com. We're located in Marietta, Georgia. If you need to catch me, my direct line is 678-328-8942. Please be patient as I get numerous calls, texts, emails a day. I respond as quickly as I can and get back to you. If you contact us through the website or shoot a text, I will get back to you. So please just be patient as it is springtime and summer gets really busy for us.
And I'll have ninjas, as he said, I'll have all his information down in the description. But buddy, It's been
As
an
always.
honor, man. As
Thank
always,
you.
brother. Thank you so much. And stay tuned, ninjas. Maybe July 4th, we'll be doing something.
Saving
We'll see.
green.
All right. Bye, Mike.
Saving